Thanks for joining us again on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King and Tabitha Odegaard. It's always a pleasure every week to try to come in and bring you things going on around the area and have special groups come in and talk about what they've got going fundraiser-wise or whatever. And we do appreciate you joining us. And we hope we bring some information to you that maybe you don't know, and we know a lot of times we don't know what's going on.
No, that's why I like doing the show. I learn a lot.
You do learn a lot about it.
Definitely.
How's everything going this summer season? It is turned summer, hasn't it?
I love it. Oh, this is definitely my time at this. I'm getting a tan. I'm not quite as dark as you, but I'm working on it. Been to the pool. Oh yeah, and I'm outside all the time.
It is. We had a crazy spring. Remember in May, the first week, we had snowflakes.
Oh yes.
Which was probably set a record for this part of the country.
I know. We were talking about how I needed, put away your winter stuff and then get out your summer, and then you'd have to get the winter stuff back out and put away your summer. So we just didn't know which direction we were going to go. But now
I don't think we're going to need the coats anymore.
No way.
It is definitely summer.
No, not anymore. You doing okay? You playing golf?
Trying to play golf sometimes and enjoying it. And of course, I like the summer. I'm a summer person. I like to get out and do things and so forth.
Oh, yeah. Have you been to the pool yet?
Been to the pool a couple times on the weekend, and the water's a little cold.
A little chilly,
it'll warm up quick.
Oh yeah.
How's everything going at the fitness club?
It's going really good, yeah.
Classes still? Are you filling up those classes?
You would think that it would slow down because it's summertime.
Right.
I guess everybody wants to look good out there when they take their shirt off or going to the lake or whatever. Right. Because it's busy.
You've been busy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed when I've been going in the evenings to work out, it's packed. I mean, a lot of people, women and men in there. Maybe that's it. They want to look good in their bathing suits or whatever, and that's good. So anyway, if you want to check out the classes, she has spin classes at you have a schedule. They can pick it up and see it. And then she does personal training and toning and anything to do with exercise. The fitness club right next to Nature's Wonders and right down from Ace Hardware, and you can't miss it there. Listen, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment and talk to a lady from Jasper, a huge event that's an annual thing, and they come from all over the region and all over the country to the Elk Festival.
Harrison, Arkansas, a town where business is personal. A Health Mart town. Pharmacist Tara Wilmot owns her Health Mart pharmacy. Here, Tara offers free one-on-one prescription medication consultations, providing information to customers in a way that makes them feel comfortable, not confused. Expert knowledge, personal attention. It's what makes Tara a Health Mart pharmacist and Harrison a Health Mart town. Your town is a Health Mart town. So visit your locally owned Health Mart today.
At First National Bank, we're making banking easier with free checking, secure online bill pay, Agri loans. We're meeting your financial needs. First National Bank offers what other big banks do, along with some things they don't. While we're big enough to provide you with the services you need, we're small enough to know your name. We offer our customers 8 convenient locations. Come see why First National Bank is the right bank for you. First National Bank, the right bank. Member FDIC.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television, and our first guest in the studio today is Nancy Atkinson. Thank you, Nancy, for coming in. And I was thinking about you when we got a notice, I guess, about the Elk Festival a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, gosh, it's getting close. It's the end of the month. I better give her a call and see if she can come over here. And she was here last year and talked to us about it, and she's the expert.
Oh, right.
Well, you got the shirts. I mean, that's the proof. That's your the official shirt on.
I mean, what else could you say when you got a beautiful elk on your front shirt? It's the Elk Festival.
Exactly.
Nancy, let's talk a little. We've got some things we want to talk about here today. First of all, who basically organizes, or who's responsible for the Elk Festival? This is the 16th annual event, so this is 16 years going.
Right, it's the Newton County Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
With assistance from, sure.
Well, it's Game and Fish help?
Yeah, Game and Fish and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, and then we've got corporate sponsors and things You know, a lot of people are involved, and then it's all volunteer work.
Okay.
So it's all volunteers that come in and set it up and do all the planning and everything. And I don't know what we do without volunteers.
You got to have volunteers, don't you?
Well, I guess thank goodness you don't have to do all the work.
Right. You know, one thing that I mean, a lot of people may not realize, if you haven't lived in the Harrison area or Arkansas particularly for a while, that it actually Jasper is known as, or Newton County, I should say, is known as the elk capital of Arkansas. And you know, you think of elk, you think of going, you know, in the Rocky Mountains and seeing elk out there. And actually, these elk were brought in. The Rocky Mountain elk, I think. Is that originally what happened when they brought them in?
They tried twice to bring them in, back in the 60s and then in the 80s. And they went up and got them from, I believe it was Colorado.
I think that's correct.
But anyway, brought them down, and it was successful this time.
Wow, and they have really, the population has grown and grown and grown. And as a matter of fact, one of the questions I think on our list here, if we're going down the road there, we'll just jump into it. At the elk festival, they actually draw. Does the foundation do the drawing, or is that the Game and Fish?
No, it's Game and Fish.
Okay, and they draw for a certain number of permits to allow, because you have to control the population, so they have a hunting permit that people from all over come in because they'd love to go elk hunting.
Well, it's the hunt is restricted to Arkansas residents.
Okay, but they may come in from around the state.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
From all over the state.
Right.
And there's 25 permits that people could have signed up for between April and May.
Okay.
And then the rest, there's 3 permits that will be drawn for at the festival, and they have to sign up for at the festival, and they have to be present to win it.
Okay, so that keeps them staying there, obviously, during the festival, and you know, some of the
what kind of things are going to have? Any vendors there?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, she said.
We've got arts and crafts and great food, and just we've got people that come back from year to year that just love the festival.
Right.
And we have a 5-star rating on one of the websites for vendors go to find out what festivals are good ones to go to. So
people come from all around. It's just not from local places to come. So that's a big deal. I've never been there. Have you been there?
I have been there. A couple times. I hadn't been in the last couple of years, but yes, it's quite. Actually, you block off, or they do. They block off the square in Jasper, and of course they have to leave the main thoroughfare going through there. But
we have to leave Highway 7 open.
7 you can't block off.
If we close that,
but you block off the square, and you know, and we've talked about this and had people come in, but you don't realize how many craft artists that we have right here in this area. And Newton County has a lot of them. I'm talking about people that paint, sculpture, you name it. It's amazing. And a lot of those people come, and you may not ever get a chance to see their products locally because they may send them other places or go to other shows. But this event, they all come out of the woodwork, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. They do. We have them come out of the woodwork, and we have in our Chamber of Commerce shop, you know, it's not just a Chamber of Commerce office, it's a shop. We have 85 Newton County artists and crafters that have all their work.
85?
That have their stuff in there on consignment.
That's a lot, just from Newton County.
They have them in there on consignment.
That is amazing.
That is really
so
neat.
We have the shop open, and it's actually a gift shop, too.
Wow.
Very cool.
So,
very good.
You going to have any entertainment?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about some entertainment.
All right, who's coming?
She's got her cheat sheet out here.
I love it.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
So who's some of the musical entertainment? Do you know?
Well, 65 reissue, which is from around here.
Okay.
And Dirt Road Dogs, Little Buffalo River Band, which is, you know, kind of local, and Nighthawk, and Doug Scallion, and Taylor and Sean Garden, Doc Lee and Old Country, and Whistling Dixie.
Wow. That was what?
So
10, 12 things?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 different.
And then we're having a talent show.
Oh.
On Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Saturday morning from 10 to noon. So it's going to be basically music.
Okay, so the talent show, I'm assuming, is anyone who can be in it and perform.
It's a show. It's not. It's just a show off. It's not a contest or anything like that. But yeah, all they have to do is contact Michelle Kilgore, and all the information is on our website at theozarkmountains.com.
Did you guys do this last year? The talent show? The talent show you did?
Same deal.
Is there a big turnout? I mean, for people to get up there and...
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Neat.
Okay, now you still have the elk calling contest.
That's on Saturday.
Which is on Saturday.
Yep.
Now, is that in divisions like for kids and grown-ups and so
You've got the little kids, and then you've got the teens, and then you've got the adults.
Now, that's something.
Pee-wee, youth, and adult is what we call it.
I mean, really, it's like, they have, of course, different kinds of contests through the different places, but turkey calling and duck calling down at Stuttgart, elk calling is quite a deal. It's quite a deal to do
Fishing derby.
Right, that's on Saturday.
That's on Saturday?
And that's for kids that are 12 and under.
12 and under fishing.
And they sign up for it down at Bradley Park at 8 o'clock. And then the fishing derby starts. And then they give away the awards at 12 o'clock. And all the kids' names, somebody might catch the biggest fish and that. And they have all different categories.
Okay.
But every year we have something, a grand prize, that everybody's name is just thrown into a hat. And they draw for it. And this year it is a Gaither Mountain kayak.
Oh, a kayak? Wow.
Nice.
That's very nice.
Very, very nice. Wow. There's a beauty pageant. When is that?
That's on the 22nd.
Okay, so that's the weekend before. Okay, they do that. And then the winners, they'll be at the...
Yeah, they'll be at the festival.
Okay. They'll have them there. Okay, very good.
So it's June 28th and 29th. That's Friday and Saturday.
Right.
Okay.
What times, like on Friday, does it start in the festival?
It opens at 10.
10 o'clock.
There's other activities that are going on before 10 o'clock, like the fishing derby, and then for the pie competition, they have to get their pies in there because the judging starts at a certain time. And then
is that baking competition?
Pie baking competition.
Okay. Wow.
And everybody always wants to know if it's going to be a pie
You don't need an independent
competition.
judge that really likes pies to come over.
Well, I mean, who do you have? Do you just have people randomly?
Well, I'm not in charge of that one.
Gotcha. Sign me up. That sounds really good.
You want to be a judge.
I do want to be a judge.
Okay, before we run out of time, what about, let's talk about the Dutch oven. What is that? What
Dutch oven cook-off.
Okay.
That's where people dress up in old-timey, and they cook meals in Dutch ovens over hot coals.
Oh, just like in the early days.
Oh, just like in the old days.
Okay, in the old cast iron pots and stuff.
They dress up in old West gear.
Does, again, people judge it and they give trophies and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. There's
a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. She's got a whole list of stuff there. And obviously, the thing about it is not only for local people. Again, this is particularly statewide because of the drawing for the elk hunting permits. But people come from all over the region to this thing. It's a big event. It's one of the largest probably in this area as far as a 2-day gathering, I would think.
It's pretty big.
Yeah. You know that because you put it together.
I have to walk it.
Is there any room for any more vendors? Do you need any more vendors? Or
Sure.
If somebody wanted to call, would they call you?
Yeah, they can go on our website, or they can send us an email, and that would just be chamber@ritternet.com.
Okay.
And send an email, or they can call our chamber shop and talk to Patty.
Okay.
She's in charge of the vendors.
Okay.
And she's there on Mondays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays and Saturdays.
And what's that number there?
446-2455.
Very good, very good. So if there's anybody out there that you would like to be a vendor at the Elk Festival, you can just go online. It's easy because they've got a great website, or you can call them over there to Chamber and still room if you'd like to put in a craft booth or a food or whatever. So Nancy, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
We appreciate you coming over and looking elkish today. And
hey, get a good shot of this elk T-shirt.
Good shot. There's that T-shirt right there.
Hey, just get the T-shirt.
Yeah, that's nice. I like those. I'm sure you'll be selling those T-shirts over there as well. So you can bet on
We
that.
always have a different. I think this was a 2011 model.
So they have a new one each year.
Yeah, we have a different one every year.
Nancy, thank you so much, and good luck with the 16th annual Buffalo River Elk Festival. Don't forget, it's June 28th and 29th. That's a Friday and Saturday. Summer's here. The weather's going to be great. And
fireworks display.
Fireworks display.
Okay.
Awesome.
At dusk, I'm sure.
At like 9, 10 o'clock.
Okay. Is that at Bradley?
No.
It's right there on this, right there?
Right up on the top of the mountain behind the square.
And nice.
I mean,
so fireworks,
awesome.
just like the 4th of July, only it'd be early, the weekend before.
There's so much excitement. I'm going.
Good. Thanks, Nancy. We appreciate it very much for joining us. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. We're going to talk to a gentleman about a very important thing here in the Harrison area that they're trying to get your help for on Connect.
Ozark Auto Body and Towing has been serving the Harrison area for over 25 years. As a certified collision repair center, Ozark Auto Body offers free estimates for insurance claims, approved by Underwriters Laboratory and certified with a Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Using only PPG paints, the latest design heated paint booth for a baked-on finish, and factory-trained technicians, you're sure to get the job done right. For auto body repair or 24-hour towing and wrecker service, see the experts at Ozark Auto Body and Towing in Harrison.
Make someone's day a little brighter with a unique gift from Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. If you're looking for something special, Sisters has a great selection of tableware items, serving pieces, cooking and baking products, vases, centerpieces, and numerous other gift ideas. For the future bride and groom, Sisters has a bridal registry that makes it easy to select the perfect gift. Stop by and browse the many one-of-a-kind items. Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. We are so much more than flowers.
Welcome back to Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King and Tabitha Odegaard. Again, we appreciate you joining us this week on the show as we continue to have organizations and individuals come in and talk about what's important in our broadcast area. And our second guest on the show today is no stranger to most of you, if you've lived in the Harrison area for a long time, is Jerry Jackson. Jerry, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, you're welcome.
We
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Appreciate it very much. Going to talk about something important.
Absolutely, the Hospice of the Hills.
Hospice of the Hills? Yes. Why don't you give a little history on the hospice?
Well, you know, hospice is one of those things that you don't talk a lot about, and when it comes to the time you need it, you really don't know a whole lot about it.
Right.
It kind of creeps up on you, and then all of a sudden there it is, and you're kind of in a strange situation. So Hospice of the Hills is a local organization that was formed about 20 years ago by 3 women in town. And since that time, we've kind of grown it to, it's almost becoming a big business, and that's, again, thanks to the community. But Hospice of the Hills is divided into 2 sections. We have a board of directors who do numerous things, but primarily they fundraise. And then we have another group, which is NARMC, who supply the medical care and the medical staff. And then John Leslie, Dr. John Leslie, he is the medical director. So the combination of us and them, and the reason we have us is because it's a very non-profit, we are a non-profit, but it's a non-profit business. The hospital loses money, even though we raise money, and I think without us, we may not have this ability to help people that do not have the funds to be involved in hospice. So, you know, it serves such an incredible purpose, but at the same time, people know very little about it, and they don't learn about it until the time. So there's not much we can do about that.
Exactly.
But it's a combination of 12 board members and NARMC.
Well, because we don't ever talk about it, why don't you just enlighten us a little bit? What's going on there? I mean, why do people go and stay there at the house?
Well, you know, to be in hospice, you have to have less than 6 months to live, and that's a decision made by the doctors. And I know it's a tough decision, and all the local docs have difficulty in that area, I'm sure, as any of us would. Sure. And so when that time comes, they get together with the patient and the family, and they recommend hospice. Primarily we have in-home care. That's what hospice is really about. It's about the nurse and the aides and the hospice volunteers going to the homes of these patients and making sure they're without pain, making sure they're doing well. You know, they don't do anything to help the cause. but they do things to to help their situation. And then the volunteers get involved, and that's a local group. We have about 40 volunteers that do various things and mainly spend time with the patient and help the family. We learned very soon that the hospice is more about the family than it is about the patient. The family's going through real difficult times during that time. So that's basically what hospice provides. And then we've got the house, of course, and we're so unique, and I know this is limited. I could talk for hours about the house. We are an extremely unique community. We're the only place in the world, I'm puffing a little there, but the only place in the world that has a 4-bedroom hospice house. And that's because we set out to build a little house that we thought was going to cost $70,000, and lo and behold, it costs a lot more than that. But the community responded.
Back to it.
And then also, we learned that 4 bedrooms are not adequate. And that's kind of why we're doing the expansion right now.
Okay, now, one thing, 4 bedrooms, and now you're going to have about 8 bedrooms.
We're going to have 8 patient rooms, but in addition to that, we're going to have some other facilities that we have learned that was much needed. And we're going to have 2 rooms we call hotel rooms. You know, when a patient's in the hospice house, we get a lot of family members that'll come in from all over the country. And they'll want to be with them in their last days. And some of them may not be able to afford a hotel room, but even if they can, they want to be with their loved one 24/7. So we are now putting in 2 rooms that are hotel rooms that'll be furnished like a hotel, and then they can stay right there with their loved one, and that's going to be a real good thing.
Wow.
We do have a kitchen. We've got a living room. I assume you've been through the house.
Yes, I have. And the original.
And it's kind of cool because when we started this, we didn't have a lot of funds, so we had to do things a little different, and it became extremely homey.
Right.
And that was the reason, because we didn't have money to do all the fancy stuff. And we kind of really hit a home run in that, and that's what's a real important thing.
Homey
is good.
Homey
is real good.
In a situation that
you want to be comfortable
they're dealing with, and
absolutely
those type of things. And Jerry, with the expansion thing, what are some of the needs? What do you have? What's your needs now, other than money? Obviously, if anybody wanted to donate money, but
the neat thing about the expansion is we're going to be able to provide something that we've really never been able to provide in the past, and that's called respite care.
Okay.
And that's so important in hospice, because when the patient's at home, the family is drained emotionally, physically. You can see some of the caregivers, and you can see in them that they're just worn out, taking care of their loved one. So respite care is going to allow them to bring their loved one to the house, leave them there for 1 week. They can visit them, they can spend time with them, but they're not the caregiver anymore. And it just does so much for the family. And it also allows us to do some things to the patient that's very, very good. Help them breathe better, maybe control pain a little better. Vince Lease at the hospital told us the other day that there's no place he knows better for controlling pain than inside the hospice house. We can do it at home somewhat, but we can't do it near as good as we can do it there. He said we're better than the hospital when it comes to controlling pain.
Wow.
So,
for people that financially maybe they don't have insurance or don't have Medicare, how do you treat people like that?
That's the thing that we're really proud of. And that's something we're able to do that other hospice organizations are just not able to. If you're for-profit or something like that, you couldn't do it if you wanted.
Right.
We make sure everybody receives the exact same care. When a patient's in there, they don't know if they're broke or they're millionaires. There's no indication of that whatsoever. There's never any discussion about payment. If a person has private insurance, we use private insurance. 95% of the patients are Medicare patients.
Sure.
But then there's that void. There's that 5% of the patients that don't have any of that, don't have any means. That's where we come in. That's where the board comes in with the fundraisers. And that's our main purpose. One of our purposes today, of course, is to build the expansion. And that's a big venture, but more important than that is to pay for the people that can't afford. like I said, the hospital, if it wasn't for us able to subsidize some of those patients, there's a good chance the hospital wouldn't be in this business.
I got you.
So they can only do so much for community service, and they're doing a lot, and along with this, we're able to do some great things that other communities just could never think of doing.
This is amazing.
It really is. We got about 4 minutes. What's your immediate needs, and then we want to talk about the 20 is Plenty program, but immediate needs for furnishing maybe the expansion?
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, because we're offering right now naming opportunities. And what we need, in addition to funds, we're still about $100,000 short on finishing the expansion.
Gotcha.
And we're hoping some of that will come, but we also need about $100,000 to furnish the rooms.
Right.
You know, we need the beds and all the sofas and the sleepers and a lot of things that are medical, and they cost a lot more than just going down the street and buy them. So we need funds for that, and we're offering naming opportunities, various things, patient rooms, things out in the garden, things on the patio, just like they do at the hospital. We're going to name them in memory or in honor of someone. So if somebody's interested in getting involved in that, you know, maybe they had somebody at the house and they want to contribute and they want their name up there, you know, they need to give me a call. Because that's something, when it's gone, it's gone.
I understand.
You know, we only have so many rooms and so many things that they can name. But we've got a donors wall that's $250, $500, and $1,000. And then from there we have patient rooms and other things. So anywhere from $250 to $15,000. If somebody wants to get involved in that, we'd love to hear from them.
How's the fundraiser going?
It's going well. We're going to need about $700,000 to finish the house. We've probably got $600,000. So that's amazing. That's amazing. And I think the last thing you're going to ask kind of leads me into why we have $600,000.
Yeah, let's talk about the 20 is Plenty.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Got about 2 minutes.
I think the second best thing we ever did, in addition to the house, is the 20 is Plenty. And it came about through need. We had a patient come into the house. They needed medication. They didn't have Medicare or insurance. The medication was $24,000. We had no way of paying it. We were broke.
Wow.
We got the board together and says, we need something. It kind of shocked us. We need something on an ongoing basis to raise money. Somehow we came up with 20 is Plenty, and we do this once a year. We ask people to contribute $20, and it has been the most remarkable thing that's ever taken place in fundraising in my life. We get thousands and thousands and thousands of people wanting to give us $20.
Wow.
And it brings them into the program. It's just so amazing. We've been able to cover the patients, and over the last 5 years, we've been able to save $600,000 to do the expansion.
Wow.
Primarily through $20 bills.
Nice.
Isn't that nuts?
It's a neat campaign.
It's so
catchy,
cool.
but you know, $20. You think about, you know, most people can afford to give $20 if you want to give.
We realized
whatever.
25 was the magic number, but it's 2 bills. 20 is one, and then when you throw in the 20 is Plenty, we've actually trademarked that 20 is Plenty. Other people want to use it in other parts of the country, and if they're involved in hospice, we want them to use it.
That's great.
But other than that, we'll probably ask for something.
Jerry, thank you
Thank
so
you
much. We appreciate you coming in, and a lot of great information, and phone number in case somebody wanted to do.
Need to call me. I'm at 365-5536. Do have a real estate business, so we're down across from McDonald's.
So drop in there or give you a call. Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for all your hard work.
You're welcome.
Your spearheading of all these things going on.
I've been paid back many times.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. Thank you. Jerry Jackson, Hospice of the Hills, and of course the Hospice House. You can help out. Anything. The 20 is Plenty program is ongoing. They'll take your $20 bill, your $200, or your $2,000, whatever it is. They need your help, and you will be you'll either know someone or you'll have someone touched at some point in your life. Hope you have a great week, and keep the tanning going on, and stay cool if you can. Thanks for joining us on Connection. We'll see you again next week.